All right, 6+ years ago, I made a video of a homemade water ionizer that was getting 10.2 pH levels. All right, and this is the exact same setup as I pulled it out of my shed. And I set it up again because I never checked the parts per million or even looked at anything under a microscope. I don't think I had a microscope at the time. The only thing different this time, I had 3 car batteries set up on it, and it was getting 36.9 volts. Well, I have a power supply. It's only giving me 32. I know running 24 volts, I was getting stuck at like 9.6 pH level. And so I don't know what 32 is going to do. This has been running for about, say, 14 hours. So I'm about to check it here in a few minutes. Again, there's no sponge in there, so everything is just running through. To collect the water, you just shut this, you turn this lever, and it's a big ball switch that disconnects both tanks from each other. And this one is still, again, like the last one, it's got this sediment here on the positive side. Positive side is the acidic water, and the negative side is the alkaline water. And I got my testers here. Same testers from before. Actually, it was the green one. This yellow one's not. It kind of sucks. It's all over the place. But these are also 6 years old, or 6+ years old. I'm not even sure. So to make sure they're accurate, I'm going to test distilled water, because I know that's around 7 on the pH scale. And once I know that's good, then I'll test this side. I'll test the acidic side, and then I'll put both under a microscope. I'm not a fan of alkaline water. There's too much information going back and forth, so I don't drink this kind of water, and I don't even know what's in it, but we're going to find out. All right, this has been running for about a week now. What happened is my pH testers, they were the older ones, they were reading 9.5 off of tap water. I know that's not the case. So this has been running for a week, about a week. You can see there's a lot of sediment built up on the acidic side now, which is the positive end again. On the negative end, there's some little chunks in there that are actually flaking off the titanium rod in there. All right, this is tap water here. Right now it's reading 7.9. Actually, let's do a parts per million test on it right away. And we're getting 162. I'm going to slowly drain these, just not to pull any of that soot under there. I'd like to put that stuff under a microscope. So give me a second. All right, I just equally filled up the cups. Let's see, that one's okay, for parts per million, on the alkaline side, we got 143. I'm going to let the pH level set. Sometimes it rises a little bit. That's looking, well, we'll give it a minute. It's jumping around yet. We check the acidic side. Parts per million is 151. We're still at 9.8, but I'll give it a minute yet. All right, it's been about a minute and it's still at 9.8. All right, let's put this in the acidic side. It's going to take a minute to sink down. This video really isn't about pH. It's about the stuff that's in there. I'm going to look at this stuff under a microscope, so we can actually see what's in there, and you'll be able to see what is in the alkaline water. All right, now it's down to, well, it's still sinking. You know what, I'll give it a minute yet, and we'll come back. All right, it's been a minute. This thing settled down to 6.8, so I'll get a drop of each one of these drying on a slide, and when it evaporates, we'll take a look and see what's in it. All right, this is a regular water drop. Dried on a plate. There's the termination line, or the tension line, where it dried, and this thing is just Actually, a little dirtier than normal water. I'll have to look at my old video on this. This one's really bad. Anyway, that's 140 times. This is the water at 350 times. And just stuff all through it. Alright, let's take a look at the alkaline water. Right here's the alkaline water. There's a retention line. It's still just as dirty. It didn't remove anything. And that's why I use a distiller. A distiller takes all this stuff out. Anyway, that's 140 times. I guess it's just the same thing. This is 350 times. But it has a higher pH. Let's check the acidic side. Alright, this is a drop of the dried acidic water. Same thing. It's 140 times. Just stuff all through it. Let's go over to 350 times. I don't know what that big piece is. Okay, there you have it. It doesn't clean the water at all. It just raises the pH somehow through electrolysis. Alright, I got these tanks mostly drained, so I'm going to try and take this spigot off, unscrew it, and get in there with a butter knife and scrape some of that slime off of the bottom. I'll try and do that on this side too and get those little particles. Because the only thing I added in these tanks was a little bit of salt on each side. It seems like years ago, using 12 volts, I never had anything build up. But of course, using 12 volts, the pH wouldn't go that high. Higher the voltage, higher the pH, then you get, it's also a quicker process with a higher voltage, but then you get that kind of stuff. So we'll see if we can see what that looks like. Okay, here's the stuff that was on the acidic side, that cloudy stuff on the bottom of the tank. It's not dried, it's wet. I don't think we need to dry it. And this is at 140 times. I can't make heads or tails what that would even be. I have no clue. But it sure doesn't look good. Anyway, let's try 140 times. Or actually 350 times. It looks like little blue pieces in there actually. Alright, let's take a look at the alkaline side. Alright, on the alkaline side, this is the white flakes that were coming off the titanium rod. And this is 140 times. This is a bigger chunk. Can't really see through it. I suppose we should probably stay with the pieces we can see. Alright, let's switch it over to 350 times. Yeah, again, no clue what that stuff would be. Anyway, there you have it. Let's take a look at that real quick. Can't really see it on there. Okay, for your commercial bottled alkaline water, I have heard that they put additives in there to raise the pH levels. And just a quick Google search showed this. They put both potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide in there to start the process. Some of them say they just add minerals like calcium, potassium, and everything.